If you create content professionally, having ideas probably isn't the problem. The problem is everything that comes after: researching, creating a landing page, preparing a presentation, making social media content, following up, and then starting all over again the following week. So today, I want to try something different. I'm going to take a single idea and try to turn it into different things using a single artificial intelligence agent. The tool I'm going to test is Runnable, and I want to answer a very simple question. Hello everyone, I'm Christina and welcome back to the Artificial Intelligence channel. Today we're going to try something a bit different, because if you create content, having ideas probably isn't the problem. The problem is more what comes after: researching, creating a landing page, preparing a presentation, making content, preparing social media, following up, and then starting all over again the following week. So today I want to try something with you to take a single idea and turn it into different things using a single artificial intelligence agent. The tool we're going to test today is Runnable, so let's see how far it can take us. Here we have the Runnable interface, where we can see it's very simple. Here on the left it has several different options, and then in the center, as always, we find where to put the prompt with the various different options it offers us. So let's start the video and start by putting a prompt in here. We already have the prompt ready here with what we want to do. And for today's test, I'm going to start with a fairly simple idea. I'm going to create a small digital product for creators called the AI Creator Launch Kit. The idea is to create a practical resource to help creators research ideas, write scripts, and publish content in a more organized way. But instead of giving it absolutely all the instructions from the start, I want to give it basic context and see what questions it asks me before starting to build everything. Because one of the things I'm interested in checking is if it really understands what I want it to understand and starts generating things. Now we've already given it the main idea. Let's click the little arrow to see what it asks for, which is the next option it's asking for here. Just before moving on, it's doing exactly what we wanted, which is asking us what we're interested in and clarifying the idea before building. Let's click the options that interest us most from what it shows here, and then we'll click continue. Now on this screen, it's asking me exactly who the target audience is, and here I'm going to be quite specific. I don't want to create something for everyone. Let's focus it on creators who are already making content and want to be more consistent and organize their whole process better. So we'll check this option and click next. Exactly what we want it for. In this case, let's say for YouTube. Okay, now here, it would also be asking me what depth I want the product to have and what its approximate positioning would be. In this case, we'd click on option 2 and then we'd click continue. Here, it also asks us what kind of workflows it assumes. We'll go ahead and click on number 3. Finally, it's asking me what I definitely want to include here. So we're going to put what we want to include here, a super clear generic idea, like I mentioned before, and then we'll submit it all for processing. And now we see it's starting to process all the questions it asked us, and it's starting to create an idea. And now we've reached a point where it has us choose a more interesting part before starting to build the landing page. Runnable is asking me to choose a visual direction, and we have several options here. So I'll pick one that's more in line with the idea, creating something very clean and very visual. And I think one of the ones I like the most is this one right here. We have the image right here that's inspiring this project, and over here we'd have the final result. It's already done everything we asked for in an organized and very visual way, honestly, as you can see. And the first thing I want to clarify is that this is exactly what I wanted to test, giving it a relatively simple context, answering its questions, and seeing what it transforms for us. And we've obtained this. In this case, it directly created a landing page for the product with a value proposition, a navigation structure, information about the system, and a button to get the kit. So, something very simple, but it organized it very well. And visually, it's very, very attractive, organized, and simple, just as we requested. Now comes a very important part, which is that obviously we're not going to settle for what this option gave us at first. And now we could ask it in the box to revise something specific. We'll tell it, we'll put it in the prompt, and then we'll hit process. It's already made the new version. Let's take a look. And here we can already see the change. The first version was much more general, and now it's speaking directly to creators who are already publishing content. This is exactly what interests me, not sticking with the first impression, but being able to keep working on the result we already liked and making it more specific. As you can see, the visual theme has changed a lot. It's much more direct, and it's done small details like images or fonts that are much simpler and more direct. Honestly, I can really see the improvement. Larger numbers, like more direct information. Honestly, it's exactly what we needed, what we were asking for. And now we're going to close this right here. Let's put in a new prompt for the next part. In the end, what I want now is to go a step further to make the benefits even more concrete. I wanted to focus on the parts of the process where a creator really loses time: researching, planning, writing, and publishing. We already have another version ready. Let's take a look at it here. And now it's starting to look much more like something I would actually use. Not only has the headline changed, it's also made the message much more concrete, more focused, the time the creator loses in each phase of the process. And for me, this is one of the most interesting parts. You don't have to stick with the first version. You can keep talking to the agent and refining the result that you want to achieve. And finally, before moving on to the next step, let's put this prompt here, because what I want with this is before moving on to the next thing we're going to do, I want to try asking for a second version of this same thing, but for someone with more experience who already has their own system and wants to scale, reduce part of the repetitive work. Let's see if it does it for us. And perfect, with this, we would already have the latest version it has created for us. This version would be for a person, for a more advanced creator. As we said, the idea is the same, but the focus changes. We're no longer talking so much about starting to organize, but about scaling the process, reducing work, and increasing production capacity. And I think the idea is understood quite well here. We start with the context, build a first version, and then we can go over specific parts without having to start from scratch. I think it's already clear to you with these examples that you can keep polishing the whole process whenever you want, at whatever point you want, and keep changing the design, structure, everything you need to be able to keep improving all this and have it created for us in a very simple, very fast way. Now, without leaving the site, I want to check if all the context we've built so far helps us create something completely different. Instead of explaining again what the product is and who it's for, I'm going to ask it directly to use the information it already has to create a partnership deck. Now it's going to do like before, and it's going to ask us little things. In this case, it asks us for the format of the edition. Here, it's going to let me choose the format of the deck, and I'm going to choose PowerPoint in this case, because that way we don't just generate the presentation, but we could also modify and reuse it later. So we're going to choose PowerPoint. In the next question, it's asking me what exactly this deck is intended for. And for this specific demo, I'm going to keep it generic so we can create a collaboration proposal that can then be easily adapted to the brand, the tool, or potential partners. So we're going to choose number 5, which is the generic one. In this one, it asks if we want to put real audience numbers, but since it's all the same to us, I'm going to hit skip. And now it's going to start generating what we're asking for this time. And now once again, it does like before, it makes us choose an image again. I'm going to keep a consistent aesthetic in the project we just created to see if we can maintain that sense of continuity between the different results. So I think the one that might fit us best is going to be this one here. We're going to choose it and we're going to click on the little arrow. Perfect. With this, we already have the first slide, and before generating everything at once, we can see the direction I've chosen for the presentation, which is what we see here. In this case, it has maintained the project's aesthetic quite well and has converted the system we had previously created for the deck structure. Now, let's ask it to complete the rest of the presentation from this structure with this button right here. I'll reread the skill, then build all 7 slides. And that's it. In a few minutes, Runnable has created the entire presentation. Now I can open it directly in Google Slides and edit it if I want. And now we're going to go back to the beginning again. Let's try another one of the functions. In this case, we're going to create a carousel for social media directly from the simple instruction we're going to give it. We're going to put in whatever prompt we want, knowing we're going to make carousels, and we're just going to click the arrow. So Runnable starts creating this carousel for us. It asks us things again to be able to optimize everything much better. And in this case, it asks us about the format, and we're going to choose the LinkedIn format, which will be perfect for what we want. Here it asks us how many slides we want. In this case, we're going to tell it we want 7 and continue. In this case, it asks us what tone we want. We're going to tell it we want a direct, practical, and more dynamic style, which would be number 1. In this option here, it's asking us a bit how we want to customize the colors and the typography. We're going to give it a short write-up of how we want it, and finally, it would be a bit of the call to action we want to give on the last slide. In this case, it makes us choose an image again, but since I'm not very sure which one to choose, it has an option here that says choose for me. Let's click it so it chooses the one it thinks is most consistent in this case. Here, it's creating the plans for us with all the information, and it's having us test the plan step by step until we really have all the info. And finally, it's creating the last step. And here we have the final result of the carousel. From that same idea, it's generated a full 7-slide carousel. We have the initial hook, the 5 main points, and a call to action at the end. The interesting thing is that we didn't have to start from scratch or explain all the context again. The idea was already very clear. It reused the previous idea and converted it into another content format we asked for. We have all the slides like this in the format we were using, super clear, super clean, super readable, and it's created this marvel, honestly. Let's head back to the start, and on the left side, there's an option we see right here called Customize. Click it, and let's go to the option that says Workflows. Click right here, and now we can see that we are able to work with these workflows that turn complex tasks into a simple step-by-step process. For example, we can find tools to create newsletters, thumbnails, or even advertising content in this specific area right here. And there's also a very interesting part I'd like to show you, which is here we have to meet, which is the runnable part for meetings. The idea is for it to be automatic, capture notes, and then generate summaries and action items. I don't have a meeting connected right now, so I won't fake a live demo, but the flow would be to connect the calendar, capture the call, and then have all this context summarized, the decisions, pending actions, all summarized. For someone working with brands, clients, or auditors, this can avoid having notes scattered across different apps, written texts, and wasting a lot of time after a call. Going back to the main screen, I want to show you a task scheduler, which you have here, where you can schedule whatever task you want. For example, I can tell it to do a specific task for me every Monday. You tell it the day, the approximate time, and the email, mobile app, whatever you want to remind you, and we'd hit save so it reminds us every Monday. This option is very practical, and we'd see it as soon as we log in. And finally, a very interesting thing it has is that here in Customize is the plugins option, where we could connect other tools, Gmail or apps, keep it connected and integrated, so you can work very, very easily, especially with emails. Everything is synchronized and works perfectly for this task. After trying all this, I think Runnable makes more sense when your work needs a chain of results, keeping all the context connected. Obviously, I'd always review the content before publishing, but to reduce all the prep work, you can save a lot of time with all this. The link is in the description if you want to try it. I honestly highly recommend it. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Kissing sound.